So just like we did in the first part of these notes, first it's good to think about what this really means. If I just gave you the fraction 4 over 8 and asked you to reduce it, you'd hopefully tell me it's 1/2. The reason it works that way is 4 is 1 times 4, and 8 is 2 times 4. And since these are connected with multiplication, and I'm dividing, 4 divided by itself is 1, so I could cross those out. Well, x to the 5th, I would have 5 x's multiplied together. X squared, I would have 2 x's multiplied together, and just like I could cancel a pair of 4's there, I could cancel a pair of x's and cancel another pair of x's. What I'm left with is 1 x to the 3rd power over 2. The 1 over 2 came from reducing the fraction 4 over 8, and I had 5 x's on the top, 2 x's in the denominator, so 2 canceled out, leaving me 3, which means the 5 and the 2 could have gotten me 3 if I were to subtract the exponents. So the work you would actually show me on these, something like this, to remind yourself -3 over -6, negative divided by negative is a positive, 3 over 6 reduces to 1/2. So my work, I'm going to show that reduces to 1/2. And then I have to think about it. I'd have 4 p's up here, 3 p's down here. That's 1 more p in the top than in the bottom. So I'm going to show that work. Oh, I would take 4 minus 3 to show that I have 1 more in the top, in the denominator. So I end up with p over 2, because it's 1 p to the 1st power, but just like we don't write a coefficient of 1, we don't write an exponent of 1. So my final answer is p over 2. This is required work. 9 over 3 reduces to 3 over 1, because 3 goes into both 9 and 3. 12 r's on the top, 4 in the bottom. That means 8 more r's in the numerator. The way I'm going to show that I know that is to take 12 minus 4 on those exponents. So this becomes 3r to the 8th power because I don't put a final answer of something over 1. C looks really complicated, but it's honestly not as bad as it looks because 0.042 divided by negative 0.006 in your calculator is just -7. 6 a's and 1 a means I have 5 more a's in the numerator than the denominator. I show that by 6 minus 1. There's just a b in the numerator, nothing else to do with it. And then c to the 5 minus 2 power. So -7, a to the 5th, b, and then c to the 3rd is my final simplified answer. When you get to these complex ones that combine a couple of different properties, in this case, it doesn't matter if I simplify everything inside and then cube that, or if I cube everything inside and then simplify that. Most often, if I see a fraction like 12 over 8 that can be reduced, I simplify what's inside first. So I'm going to do one of these one way and one the other way. I'm going to take care of simplifying this fraction first. 4 goes into 12 3 times, and 4 goes into 8 twice. Oops, I say twice and I write 8. Do not write this as 1.5 or 1.5. Simply reduce it to 3 over 2. And then using the property we just learned, that's m to the 7 minus 3 power, n to the 5 minus 1 power. So I end up with 3 m to the 4th, n to the 4th over 2. But now I still have to cube that. If I think about it, this would be this multiplied by itself and multiplied by itself again. So the numerator, there would be a 3 times another 3 times another 3, so that's 3 to the 3rd power. M to the 4th, another m to the 4th, another m to the 4th. I'd have 12 m's. So m to the 4 times 3 power, n to the 4 times 3 power, and 2 to the 3rd power. So I end up with 27 m to the 12th, n to the 12th over 8. As long as I fully reduce to this fraction to begin with, when I cube it, there's nothing else I can reduce. 27 over 8 is already reduced. Whereas here, if I square before I reduce, we're going to see what happens. If I square everything in here, that's -3 squared, x to the 12 times 2, and then y squared over 9 squared x to the 4 times 2, y squared. Now very quickly, something y squared divided by another y squared is y squared divided by itself. That can cancel because that's just 1. So negative 3 squared is 9, and then x to the 24th over 9 squared is 81, x to the 8th. Here's where something happens. Notice I could have reduced negative 3 over 9 to negative 1 over 3, and I didn't. So I end up with a fraction that I can reduce after I square things. 9 over 81 reduces to 1 over 9. 24x's in the numerator, 8 in the denominator, would leave a balance of 16x's. So x to the 16th over 9 would be my final answer.